So in the last class, we have seen the part of the derivation of the shape function for the triangular element. We have seen that is we have taken the triangular element and the displacement, the x direction you have taken as d1 of x at node 1, d2 of x and d3 of x in the node 3. So we have taken the we have found out the displacement function in the x direction as we assume the displacement function is alpha 1 plus alpha 2x plus alpha 3 y, alpha 3y. Because it's a two-dimensional element, it varies. The coordinates are x and y, x1 y1 x2 y2 and x3 and y3. So we have assumed the displacement function in terms of x and y, and at the node then we have to find out the value of alpha 1 and alpha 2, alpha 3. They are the constants. They can be found out using the boundary conditions. So the boundary conditions are at node 1 the displacement is d1x, so we have substituted the value of x and y as x1 y1. Similarly, at node 2 also we have written the boundary condition and the coordinates x2 y2, it's at node 2. And similarly node 3, the coordinates are x3 and y3, and we have written the boundary conditions also. So the our aim is to find out the value of the constants alpha 1, alpha 2 and alpha 3. So I have put the equations 1, 2 and 3 in this form. That is, I have taken all the values of alpha 1, alpha 2, alpha 3 outside. So if I take that one, and I'll be getting alpha 1 into x1 plus alpha 2 plus y1 into alpha 3. That's the first equation. Second equation, this is the second equation. So I have put this one in this form. 1 into alpha 1 plus x2 into alpha 2 plus y2 into alpha 3. Similarly, third equations I have put in the form of 1 into alpha 1 plus x3 into alpha 2 plus y3 into alpha 3. So that is the third equation. So when you multiply this one, you will get the equation on the right hand side. You will be getting d1x, d2x and d3x. So this we have formulated, and I taught you how to find out the value of alpha 1, alpha 2 and alpha 3 using the Cramer's rule. So the Cramer's rule is being used. So that's a mathematical rule. If you want to find out alpha 1, then you have to write the first column you have to replace with the right hand side values, that is d1x, d2x, d3x, x1, x2, x3, y1, y1 and y2, y3. So the same thing, whatever we have written here, if I want to find out the alpha value of alpha 1, then the first column should be replaced with the d1x, d2x and d3x. If I want to find out the alpha 2 value, then the second column should be replaced with d1x, d2x and d3x. If I want to find out the value of alpha 3, then the last column, third column should be replaced with d1x, d2x, d3x. That's what I have done here, and that should be divided by the determinant value of the original determinant, that is y1 into x1, 1 x1 y1, 1 x2 y2, 1 x3 y3. That we called as 2 delta, 2 delta. So similarly, I have written for alpha 2. So I think we have started with that, and now we will move on to the value of finding out the alpha 2 value. Can you just write down the value of alpha 2? How will you find out the alpha 2? Just can you tell me? I'll write for you. So now I'm going to find out the value of alpha 2. Alpha 2 is equal to what I will get is the first row will be like that 1 1 1. Then second row I have to replace with d1x, d2x and d3x. And the what is the last column? Last column is y1, y2 and y3. y1, y1, y2 and y3. That should be divided by 1, 1, 1, then x1, x2, x3, then y1, y2, y3. Again, I can write this as 2 delta. 2 delta. This is the value of alpha 2. Can you write for alpha 3? That you have to replace this term with d1x, d2x and d3x. Write it down. The value of alpha 3. Alpha 3 is equal to 1, 1, 1, then x1, x2, x3, that is third column, alpha 3, third column should be replaced with the value of the boundary conditions, that is d1x, d1x, and d2x, d3x divided by 1, 1, 1, x1, x2, x3, y1, y2, this is again we can write as 2 delta. So now we have to find out this values, that is when you divide it by 2 delta, what will you get it? So how will you find out the determinant value? Determinant value, that is if you take the so the original equation is u of x is equal to alpha 1 plus alpha 2 alpha 2x plus alpha 3 y. So you have to substitute the value of alpha 1, alpha 2 and alpha 3 in this equations. The primary displacement function, you have to substitute it. So what we have to do is 1 minute. So can you substitute the value of, I'll write like this and I'll explain this one. First I'll write, then I'll explain what I have done. U of ux is equal to ux is equal to 1 by 2 delta d1x into A1 plus B1x. I'll explain. Just copy down. I'll explain. Y plus G2x into A2 plus B2x plus B3, C3. C3y. So where A1 is equal to x2 y3 x2 y3 minus x3 y2 and A2 is equal to x3 y1 minus x1 y3 and A3 is equal to x1 y2 minus x2 y1 x2 y1. So I'll tell you the value, that is, what is the primary equation? The primary equation is alpha 1, that is, I'm substituting the value of u of x is equal to alpha 1 plus alpha 2x plus alpha 3y. That's the displacement function. So in that one, I have to substitute, that is, the aim of this question is to find out the shape function, to find out the shape. My voice is audible, no? Or somebody can answer me. Voice is audible?
Audible, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. So the aim is to find out the value of the shape function. Shape function means that is the, what is the displacement at the node 1, what is the displacement at the node 2, and one more term is also there, sorry. One more term, here you add the term G3x into A3 plus B3x plus B2x plus C3y. C3y. Sorry. This is B3. B3x plus C3y. So, what is that is, we have to find out the shape function. Shape function. So whatever is inside is called the shape function. So d1 d1 into x, d1x plus d2x plus d2x into some terms. So how did I find out the value of d1x? Can you recollect when we find out the shape function for the, what is that, bar element and the beam element? What did we do? We have taken the coefficients of the nodal displacement, and then we have written the shape function. So similarly, d1x, just if you go to that the first alpha 1, d1x, if I want to find out the value of d1x, what is the value of, I have to find out the d1x, I can find out, missed, how will I write d1x into this determinant I'll take, am I correct? This determinant I'll take, that's you have studied, know how to find out the determinant value, d1x into, that is, x2 y3 minus y2 x3. Am I correct? This I have to multiply and I have to put a minus sign, and this I have to put. This is what I have taken as A. Just can you check it whether what I have written A is correct or not? A is x2 y3. A is x2 y3 minus x3 y2 minus x3 y2. So what I have taken, A is correct. Am I correct? So what I have done is I have found out the value of d1x. So what is the equation? What is the primary equation? Primary equation is 1 minute. Primary equation is alpha 1 plus this is the equation. So I have put the value of the alpha 1, alpha 2, alpha 3 in this equation, and I try to find out the value of I used to take the values of d1x commonly outside, d2x commonly outside, and I can write like this: d1x commonly outside, d2x I have taken, and d3x. Just now I have explained the only how did I arrive at the this a1. Now I will move on to how did I arrive at the value of a2, and I'll tell you a3. So how did I find out the value of a1 and a2 and a3? That is from the this one, that is this equation. So this now you can tell me the value of d2x. d2x, when you are taking d2x, what should I do? d2x into d2x into, so this term, 1 minute. I think you remember or not. If you are remembering, I'll leave, otherwise I'll explain. So when I am taking d2x, I'll put the minus sign. That is, this is plus, minus, plus. If you take in this direction also, plus, minus, plus, then minus. So along with that, minus will come. So this is minus d2x minus d2x into, when I am taking this d2x, I should not consider this row and this column. So I have to consider this. You remember what you studied in mathematics. So the value is x1 y3 minus y1 x3. So when I take the minus inside, you will get d2 of x is equal to y1 x3 minus x1 y3. Am I correct? This is correct or not? A2 is x3 y1 minus x3 x1 y3. So this is correct. Can you find out the value of d3x and tell me? So this is plus, minus, plus. You check the value of d3x and tell me. You find it out. After finding out, somebody read it for me. Then only I will know whether you have understood or not.
x1 y2 minus x2 y1.
Wait. So when you are taking d3x, what is your answer? x1?
x1 y2.
1 minute. x1 y2
minus x2 y1.
x2. Let me check it. So when you are finding out this one, you will get this. You have to throw it off. Class. I am in this. I have to throw it off. So I have to take this, and this. So I'll get x1 y2 minus x2 y1. So that's correct. So that I have got the value of a3. So a3 that is d3x into a3. Everything will be 2 delta will be at the bottom. Similarly, can you find out from this one? Can you find out the value of here? You have to find out the value of b1. b1x into here it is b1. I didn't get the value. So how will you find out d1x? d1x is equal to, I'll give you example, that is d1x is minus. Am I correct? This is plus, this is minus, this is plus. So minus d1x into, I have to take this value, that is this I have to throw it off and this I have to throw it off. So when what I will get is that this and this. So y3 minus y2, y3 minus y2. If I take the negative sign inside, d1x is equal to y2 minus y3. This is your b1 value. Similarly, you can find out the b2 value, that is d2x into b2 value. Can you tell me the b2 value?
y3 minus y1.
Wait. B3 is what you are telling? B3 is minus y3 minus y1. y3 minus y1. Then sorry, B2 value. B2 value is like that. B3 value, can you tell me? B3? B3 is along with that. Somebody tell me B3 value.
y2 minus y1.
Y2 minus y1. Y2 minus. Very good, very good. Now you understood how to find out the value of these things. So one minute. Okay. So you have found out the value of, let me also write what is, can you just read the value of B1? I'll write in another color, or let me use some blue color for the value of B1. B1 is equal to, B2 is equal to, B3 is equal to. Can you tell me the value of B1? B1 is equal to, somebody read it for me, because it is the previous page. B1 is y2 minus y3, am I correct? Y2 minus y3. Then B2 is y3 minus, what is the value of B2?
y3 minus y1.
Y3 minus y1. Then this is B3 is
y2 minus y1.
y2 or y1 minus y2?
y2, ma'am.
How? y1 minus y. Let me check it. That is from the out. Did you plus minus? So y2 minus that is y2 minus y1. What did I write here? Yes. Yeah, y2 minus y1. y2 minus y3.
Ma'am, B1 is Y3 minus Y2, ma'am.
B1 is y2 minus y3. Yeah.
Y3,
Y3. Yeah,
y3
y3
minus
only.
Y3 minus Y2, ma'am.
Y3 minus.
ma'am b1 y3 minus y2, ma'am.
How it is? B1 is. Wait. B1 alpha 2. B1 is. B1 is this. This is minus sign. No, this is minus sign. So you will get this term and this term. Y3 minus y2. y2 minus y3, wait 1 minute, y3 minus y2 minus y3 is y3 minus y1, and b3 is y1 minus y2. Wait a minute. Plus minus so when you are taking this one, what will I get? This will throw off y3 minus y2, y2 minus y3. yt because did you take that minus sign outside? When you are taking that along with that you will have a minus sign, no? Minus sign. So you have to that is when you are taking this one, y2 minus y3 only you will get y2 minus, this is correct. You are having doubt, I'll show it to you. That is along with 1 minute, along with d1 you will have a minus sign. So d1x into, so this I will throw off, this I will throw off, only I will have this value, this value, this value. So when I multiply y3 minus y2, here it is minus, y3 minus y2. So when I take the minus sign inside, we will get y2 minus y3, y2 minus y3. Is it correct, Jagan? I think you have forgotten to put this negative sign. Is it correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So minus sign you should not forget. 1 minute. So this is the correct answer. B1 is equal to y2 minus y3, and B3 is y3 minus y1, y3 minus y1, and B3 is y1 minus y2. This is the correct answer. Now I can write for or C1, C2, C3. Shall I move on to the next page? C1, C2, C3. C1. Can you tell me the value of C1, C2, C3? C1 is equal to what? C2 is equal to what? And C3 is equal to what? So you have to write from here. C1, C2, C3. You have to write from this one. Somebody tell me the answer, correct answer. Can you tell me the value of C1?
X2 minus X1.
No, X3 minus X2. C1 is X3 minus X2. Is it correct? How many of you agree with this? Yeah, this is the correct answer. C2 is X1 minus X3. C3 is X2 minus X1. X2 minus X1. So minus X3. So that's what I have written in this equation as a1 plus b1x, because you will have the value of whatever substitute is alpha 1 value, alpha 2, alpha, and you will have a coefficient along with the coefficient is 1, and when I take this equation, wait, this is alpha 1, there is no x value, alpha 2 x, and alpha 3 y. That's what I have put here. Alpha, the coefficient of that one, and alpha 2x and alpha 3x. So each component will have d1x, and here also you will have d2x, like that I have put it. And any doubt in this one, you have to in the examination, you have to remember these values. The easy way is a1 you have to start with x and y. That is, a1 means x2, 1 2 3. After 3 you have to put the just reverse of this one, x3 and y2. This is a way easy to remember. You have to keep in your mind, because in the examination you may not find time to find out the determinant. This is you may commit mistake. So 1 means x2 y3, and here it will become 3, and 2, this will become 2. If you take the next one, a2, this is easy way. 2 afterwards 2 you will have 3, after 3 you will have 1, and this is the exchange of value. That is, x3 will become x1 and y1 become x3. Oh, sorry, y3. If you take a3 means after 3 you will have 1 and 2, then you just change the coefficient. Similarly, b1 is 2 minus 3. b2 is after 2 you will have 3, then 1. Then 3, after 3 you will have 1 and 2. Similarly, if you go to C, this is after 1 you have to get x coefficient 3 and 2, and here after 2, sorry, after 2, this is C2 is x1 minus x3 minus x2, x3 minus x2, and this is x1 minus x3, and this is x2 minus x1. So you have to remember like this. So this is we have found out the value of the all the constants, all the coefficients, that is a1, alpha 1, alpha 2, alpha 3, and that we have found out. So I can write the shape function, that is the terms along with the d1x, I will take it as this, I will take it as n1, and d2 along the value I will take this as n2, and this along with that I will take it as n3. So n1 is equal to n1 is equal to 1 by 2 delta into x1, sorry, a1, sorry, a1 plus a1 plus b1x plus c1y. Similarly, n2 is equal to 1 by 2 delta into a2 plus b2x plus b3y. C3, C2. C2y. N3 is equal to 1 by 2 delta A3 plus b3x plus c3y. Am I correct? What I have written is this is what n1, this is the n2, and this is n3. So now we have found out the shape function for the what is that? Constant triangular element, CST element. So just to refresh what we have learned yesterday and today, this is a very important question. So if you know the shape function, then you can find out the value of stiffness matrix and the load vector. So why we are deriving all these things is to find out the stiffness matrix and the load vector. Am I correct? I'll go to the previous slides and just to explain what we are doing is correct or not. Unit 1 stiffness member, unit 2 and unit 3. When you go to unit 3, so why we have that is this is the stiffness shape function for the CST element. So we have derived the shape function for the bar element, one dimensional element we have derived, and two dimensional element. You remember that is using the virtual work method, internal work done is equal to external work, and based on that we have derived the shape function. That is beta matrix we have derived. Sorry. We have derived the shape function, that is we have taken n into u star, and we have derived the shape function. Once you know the shape function, we can find out the stiffness matrix. The beta transpose E beta is the stiffness matrix. When you simplify this one, for the bar element already we have derived the shape function as n1 is equal to 1 minus x by L, and n2 is equal to x by L, and beta is equal to the differentiation of 1 minus x by L and x by L. So this is what that shape function we have derived for the constant strain triangle element. This is for the one dimensional element. So one dimensional element, the shape functions are, it has got two nodes, and the shape functions n1 and n2 we have derived as 1 minus x by L and n2 as x by L. Similarly, for then once you know this value, we can find out the stiffness matrix. What is stiffness matrix? Beta transpose D into beta. D is the constituent matrix. So we have the beta is nothing but the differentiation of this shape function. Beta is differentiation of this function. So we have differentiated this one, and beta transpose E beta. Then we have simplified this one, and we were able to get the, what is that? When you integrate that one, we were able to get the stiffness matrix. Finally, we have arrived the stiffness matrix. So we arrived the stiffness matrix from the shape function. That's what I want to convey. That is, we have derived the stiffness matrix from the shape function. You remember this one because you have written the test also. I think all of you can recollect the shape function for the bar element, that is n1 and n2. That is d by, and then when you differentiate that one, you will get beta matrix. So the stiffness matrix is nothing but, we have studied the stiffness matrix is nothing but beta transpose E into beta. So what is beta? Beta is the differentiation of the shape function, differentiation of the shape function. So similarly, we have gone for the, what is that, stiffness matrix for the beam element. Beam element also we have derived how to find it. That is, we have done it in the class, how to find out the shape function for the beam element. We have got the value of n1 because for the beam it has got the bar element. If you take the bar element, only two nodes are there. The displacements are you will have d1 and d2. If you take the beam element, you will have the vertical displacement and the rotation. Vertical displacement and the rotation. So you will have are U1, U2, U3 and U4. This is U2 I have taken as theta 1 and this I have taken as theta 2. So you remember we have got the shape functions N1, N2, N3 and N4. So this is the shape function for the bar element. Bar element we have got some values. Can somebody read me the value of N1? What we have got in the previous classes? Can you just go through your notes and read what is N1? N1 is equal to 1 minus. Somebody read it for me. What is the shape function for the beam element? Who will read? 1 minus. Hello? What is the shape function for
Yes,
the
ma'am.
tell me. 1 minus.
Just a minute.
Yeah.
1 minus x square by L square
X square by L square.
plus 2x cube by L cube.
2x cube by L cube.
N2 value, ma'am.
Okay, this is enough. Just a sample. Just I wanted to stress what you have understood. That is just to tell you what is the meaning of shape function. So shape function for the beam element we have derived. Shape function for the bar element just now I have recollected. That is shape function for the bar element we have derived as 1 minus x by L and N2 is equal to x by L. This is the shape function for the bar element. From that one I can derive the beta matrix and I can derive the stiffness matrix. Beta, how did I find out the stiffness matrix? Nothing but beta transpose E beta. So similarly, I have so when you substitute the value of constitutive matrix E, then I will be able to find out the value of K. So K already we have derived in the first unit also. K is A by L 1 minus 1 minus 1 1. So the same stiffness matrix using the finite element and using the shape function I was able to derive. That's what I wanted to convey to you. So using the shape function I was able to derive it. So similarly this is for the bar element. So the bar element when you do the beta transpose E beta then and integrate between 0 to L, you will get the stiffness matrix at this one. So this I told you to do it at home and this is a way you will get it. This is when you differentiate this one and integrate with respect to 0 to L, this stiffness matrix you will be able to arrive at. You will be able to arrive at. This is a 4 by 4 matrix because we have got the shape functions N2, N1, N2, N3, N4. So wait 1 minute. So the shape function, from the shape functions we will be able to find out the stiffness matrix for the different elements. So what we have learned is for the bar element we have learned and for the beam element we have learned. Okay. Now we have done the assignment also. I hope you have completed. I will ask you to upload it. This is what we have done and the stiffness matrix we have found. Similarly, we have to now what I am discussing is a shape function for the 1 minute. Shape function for the triangular element. What we have learned is the beam element, rectangular beam element and the bar element and the this is a triangular element. So from this triangular element, if you integrate, that is beta transpose d beta, you will be able to find out the values of the stiffness matrix. That's what I wanted to convey. So this is the shape function. From this shape function, I'll be able to find out the values of the stiffness matrix and the load vector. I'll be able to find it out. Can you just refresh it what we learned today? So this is a very important derivation. This is a very important derivation. You have to remember. Tell me, Jagan.
B1 value, B3 value doubt, ma'am. Can you explain once again, ma'am?
B1 and B2,
B1 and B3.
B1 and B3. B1, how to find out? B1 is from the alpha 2 matrix. Am I correct? So B1 is This is the d1x. 1 minute. So this is positive, this is negative, this is positive. So when you are taking the coefficient of d1x, you have to take minus d1x into, you have to throw this one off, and you have to take 1, this. So you will get 1 y2, 1 y3. So that is minus d1x into, multiply this one, y3 minus y2. Am I correct? First you will multiply this one and then you will go to this one. So when you take this minus sign inside, you will get d1x is equal to y2 minus y3. Have you got this one? y2 minus y3. Can you understood? Hello?
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am.
Then when you take that b2 value, this is plus minus plus, then it will become minus, this is plus, this is plus, this is minus, then minus plus minus, plus minus plus. So when you take this coefficient, it will be plus. When you take this one, this will be minus. You understood?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. This is a way you have to do. And better for your examination, you just like a thumb rule, something you keep in your mind so that u1x. So just to tell me what we have learned today. Somebody can tell me one by one. So this is the way, some mathematical calculations are there and you have to keep in your mind that is we have arrived at the Kranos law. And Wednesday you have to take an assignment of, not assignment, you have to write a test on this one. Otherwise you won't study. Wednesday you have to write the, tomorrow I'll take the class, and Wednesday you have to take a test how to derive the shape function for the constant strain, because we have completed the test for the, did you write the test for the shape function of beam element? I think you have written, no, assessment 2 you have written, and you have to write the shape function for the shape function for the constant strain triangle element. So once you know the shape function, you will be able to find out the stiffness matrix and the load vector. Load vector also you can find out. That is the integral of n transpose into load in P. If you take the load as P, n transpose into P, you can take it like that. So I think time is over, or I'll stop here and we can proceed tomorrow. Okay. Shall we proceed tomorrow?
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah. Mikyas, you have to come and see me. Mikyas is here. He didn't come today.
Yes, ma'am.
He is absent.
Ma'am, he is with us.
He's with us.
Hello,
Ask him
ma'am.
to come and see me. Come and see me. That is, what about Erkibe?
Gibe has got something at home. Yeah, some issues.
She has got,
I think someone has passed out, so
oh, she hasn't come here. Okay.
shall I come now to your office?
Yeah. Come to my room. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you very much. We'll meet tomorrow. Thank you.